out Clockwork for Gyrocopter. Another win, it seems, for Vici Gaming, all due to the fact that Ori barely survives.
Yeah, Vici Gaming had a very strong laning stage. The two cores, the two on top. The Chaos Knights just not really quite had the success he was hoping for. A contested lane, he saved up a lot of money in what looked to be a Midas rush. And when you're seeing on 1,200 gold and getting pressured in lane, you should have just spent that money earlier on regen, on your boots, on treads, on something, if you're not going to end up going for the Midas. So Mushi really getting punished for what looked to be some of his greed. And right now it feels like Mineski really needs some level 6s. A level 6 line, the Finger of Death coming into play could allow them to make some smoke moves. Skywrath also not level 6 just yet. They had an okay first Ravage onto a couple of heroes, but it only got them a Bane kill. So I think Mineski are kind of feeling the heat here to start making some plays.
They give the tome to Ninja Boogie. Still not having that level 6. It's just a sliver away.
And he's moving around by an observer ward, so they know kind of exactly where he is. Make it gripped here. No follow-up, I don't think.
Meanwhile, Lanham, he's going to end up getting caught by Ice and Mushi. They had some idea that he was there. I'm not sure if
Fenrir did use the grip. He went for the solo kill. That's a big misplay.
Oh.
He thinks he can grip into Brain Sap, but Hex is instant, Brain Sap is not, and that's just not going to work.
Boom. Using his call down to be able to flash farm a bunch of creep camp stacks.
So a few small things go Mineski's way there. Gets them their drums on the Gyrocopter now. They may try and make a smoke move with Lion having hit level 6 as well as Skywrath. So now they've got both supports level 6, so drums up. Halfway to a Blink Dagger on Ice. I don't think that's an item you sit back and try and farm. You're just too far from it to really wait it out. You're much better off trying to get active now. But they also feel like Vici Gaming's been on their side of the jungle too much and got all this vision, so they need a D-ward first. And it's actually Vici making the smoke move.
Look at that. The ward behind the tower. They're going to pop out, run into these heroes, and immediately Lanham tracks down the important one, which is going to be Moon. But Ice managed to get a huge ravage, and they've already blown up the Clockworks. The Gyrocopter will be fine. Skywrath Mage not so lucky. Ice will complete his TP, though. He'll be okay.
Yeah.
Oh, in bottom lane, they managed to get the Doom onto Mushi at the same time. So Vici Gaming, 2 maneuvers. A nice wraparound behind that mid tower, and then also 11 pressuring that Chaos Knight even more.
And Mushi's first death of the game, but feels like he's been pressured a lot more than just the one death because of that Doom's presence there. And 11 has played very well this game. Just 1-1. He's not been involved in kills, but it's the lane pressure he put on there. He's out-farming the Gyrocopter fairly significantly. He's kept him down. And even the Chaos Knight being out-farmed even more by him. So top 3 net worth all belonging to Vici Gaming.
Guys, it's beginning to feel like the panel curse is a real thing. But the Chaos Knight is still going to turn into one of the hardest carries in this game. Sleep out from Fenrir. We'll just get a bunch of right clicks in before he goes for the Fiend's Grip, setting Ori up with a long TP to claim the kill.
That's where Tide at mid, getting kind of held in place with the battery assault. And
that Clockwork.
Be brought down.
So good versus that Tide.
Yeah. We'll see how the Chaos Knight does once he does get this arm lane.
Another sleep. No Fiend's Grip this time around. Fenrir trying to body block him. You are so greedy, Fenrir, but there is going to be finally a hook in. Skywrath Mage manages to get a lot of damage onto Lanham. Finally gets out of that one, but it's enough time for Ori to be able to bring down the Gyrocopter now. The pull back in with the Chaos Knight. Tries to go Invis with the Shadow Amulet and will be able to survive because of it. Turns around, double nuke. Almost gets the double nuke. A big hit from Ninja Boogie. Managed to finish off the SF with the Finger of Death. Now Moon's going to come back into this fight. Paparazzi is completely exposed with the Phantasm Illusion. Still doing their work. Still putting out the physical damage. 11's in trouble. He at least managed to kill the Lion on his way to death.
Wow, what a bloodbath. All 5 Vici Gaming heroes go down. Moon did buy back, though, so it was 4 dead on the Mineski side with the buyback. They still come out with a 1,600 gold advantage from that one. Well worth the buyback. These early game buybacks feel a whole lot better when you're getting full gold for the kill, so Gyrocopter doesn't really fall off too much because of that spend. But you're still behind. I think you still have your work cut out for you if you're Mineski. That's your big Ravage usage, your first Chaos Knight ultimate, and they just didn't really quite get enough. They only salvaged that fight because of the Gyro buyback.
Check out that replay again, Fenrir. I mean, he knows how important the Gyrocopter is because they've kept the Chaos Knight down, so he's willing to give up his life to make sure that Lanham can get the initiation. Both supports die just to kill Moon.
I was kind of scratching my head at Fenrir's play a bit this fight, but definitely watching the replay, you can see how close 3 of his teammates were closing in on this fight, and instantly, like, all 3 cores are there right after the Bane dies. He just wanted to make sure Mineski commit to the fight, because they know that Gyro is going to die, and the fight looks pretty good for Vici Gaming until that Gyro comes back in.
Always a danger fighting into the enemy shrines for multiple reasons, and one of the most recent changes has been that buyback, and it's just chump change, right? Like, why wouldn't you blow like 450 gold to make sure that you win a fight? That's going to give you around 2K. 11. Going to be caught here underneath his own tier 1 tower, but mass TP rotations are coming in, and now Moon's in a bad position, but Ice set it up perfectly, managed to get the Ravage onto 3. All on him, still trying to travel, does manage to get the Cogs onto Moon. They won't allow him to escape with a Fiend's Grip kill. They claim his life. He's dead for 50 seconds now, and the rest of Mineski have to full out retreat.
Not a good trade for them. Support for a core with Ravage being used. Mushi was farming elsewhere on the map, but he is still very under-farmed and under-leveled. This is a game where you've got Chaos Knight taking control of the game and Phantasm being uncounted. You need points in this. You want to have that level 2 Phantasm already online, ideally. And Mineski just aren't quite at a point where Mushi is able to just go charging in and lead these fights. He's very reliant on teammates kind of setting him up for success in the case of the Tide Ravage, or in the case of the Gyro, almost frontline. He needs someone to frontline for him just because the Chaos Knight even feels a bit squishy if he's running in first.
Now, Vici Gaming have struggled to be able to pressure this off lane, but with the Ravage down, looks like they're finally going to go for this tier 1 with the Exorcism. Or not.
Or not, yeah. They're falling back in Vici Gaming fashion. They're falling back to make an aggressive play. I think they're kind of feigning weakness, but really they are way stronger right now.
A lot of hook shot will land onto the Lion, trying to get a Cogs push back, silence immediately, but still gets a little bit of battery salt, slow down, and Ninja Boogie. They're going to be able to take him, but on the side, Mushi trying to blow up more. He does manage to take him out before the ultimate can go down. A big win for him. Now he's going to try and catch a couple extra heroes. The Clockwork ends up going down the shrine, trying to keep him alive. Eventually, he will die. Between the combination of the Doom and Paparazzi, Exorcism, Spirit Siphon slowing down Moon. He just needs to be able to run with him, and eventually Moon will die. Ice trying to intercept, body block as much as he can, and Moon, it's just enough. He managed to get out of range of those ghosts and will survive. Despite no Ravage, Vici Gaming actually Mineski actually do all right for themselves.
That fight was all Mushi. He got on top of the Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend came out of his Shadow Blade to sniper Curry. It seemed like an okay idea because, you know, Vici feels stronger. They just assume. It looked like, to me, and I think to Vici Gaming, they were just leaving that Lion to die. Lion got caught by the hook shot. It looked like he was just going to be the sacrificial lamb who tanks the smoke gank. But no, Mineski, once Mushi comes in and gets on top of SF, they just straight up win that fight.
What a difference it would have been if he actually caught off the Requiem of Souls, but that's why this Chaos Knight was such a good last pick, right? The burst physical damage against these heroes like the SF, they're just not going to have any moment to play against Phantasm.
Yep. Mineski get the D-ward off and that ward behind their tower as well, so taking away some of that important Vici Gaming vision, and they will look to probably regroup for the next Ravage. They've got all their ultimates up in 50 seconds with Phantasm, but they may even want to go before then with the burst damage potential of Skywrath and Lion. Two great supports to have. Unfortunately for them, Paparazzi has a BKB, so if they want to bring down this Death Prophet, they're going to need to get that instant stun, instant disable, or almost guaranteed Paparazzi will be able to heal himself back up.
They're trying to go for the fast BKB on the SF as well. It seems like they're reading that it's the second item timing, that they just want to be so much stronger than Mineski and run them over, as they should, right? Because they do have to fear, even though the Chaos Knight had a bad start to this game, wasn't ahead of heroes like he usually likes to be, he will eventually climb to a point where even if he's not the same net worth as the Death Prophet or the SF, he will be a lot stronger than them with a lesser net worth amount.
No, I totally agree. And this is also where I like Mineski's response to that, which is, you know, rushing this BKB on Ice. While it's not a guaranteed Ravage on these heroes when they can BKB it, it's much more likely you get them before they BKB if you can just blink on top of them and insta-Ravage, because Lion's a 5. He's not getting a blink anytime soon.
They're going to just blow up. Poor Clockwork. Ninja Boogie uses the Finger of Death, which I'm not sure is totally necessary, but
look, yeah, once the Skywrath ulti's there, it looks pretty damn secure, but think these support ulti cooldowns are much less important than the Chaos Knight and the Tide Hunter anyways.
Sure. They do have a successful scan behind this Dire Tower, so they know someone's here, 11. He can just pop out of the trees and potentially get a Doom onto Ice if he gets too close to this tree area, and that's not exactly what happens.
Mineski do not want to fight at all. They just used the CK ulti bottom just to push out the lanes. They use those double support ultimates to find a pick-off. They also see the BKB on Death Prop, and they're probably thinking, can we team fight? Absolutely not. Let's just farm until we have our own BKBs. Gyrocopter, 600 gold from him. Chaos Knight, pretty damn far.
Whoa, Blink and Ravage, they're going to be able to catch Paparazzi's Death Prophet. No Phantasm required. Mushi actually used it to farm the bottom lane, but...
Yeah, that was just a big kind of surprise play. I think Paparazzi assumed Mineski just giving up the tower, and Mineski's like, well, Paparazzi's still here. Let's just take this free kill, because that was well and truly a freebie. Mineski were not really stronger at that point by any means, but Paparazzi was just completely alone. Very bizarre play from him and his team. You either stick behind that Death Prophet or
11. He does have a BKB. It's going to be Fenrir who's initiated on first, but he got a 3 seconds on to 11. Mushi doesn't want to go for that kill. Instead, they're trying to threaten Ori's life, but now the jump in for the hook shot catches Ninja Boogie. They want to be able to grab more, but Mineski have already retreated, and Ice is taking that mid tower, so they're going to try and TP rotate to stop him. He blinks away.
There's so much catch and initiation and so many scary things on Vici Gaming's side, particularly when they have these BKBs. Somebody gets hooked, they're probably dead. Somebody gets duped, they're probably dead. That Mineski understand they have to get these quick pickoffs and then get the hell out. The second Vici Gaming brought 4 or 5 heroes top, they didn't mess around. They ditched Ninja Boogie so fast, they said, we're not taking this fight, let's back off. We tried to get this quick pick, we didn't get it. Doesn't matter, let's go farm.
Now they're going to use their strength to just freely take Roshan. Even if Mineski knew, I don't think there was much they could do about it.
You see Mushi get the Tome of Experience, so he gets up to level 14 and a half. Mushi at level 15, so he gets those much needed extra flak hits. But with triple BKB about to be online for Vici Gaming, big question for Mineski is, can they win fights against these?
It's just going to be all about the initiation of Ice. Unfortunately, it's going to be a while before Ninja Boogie has a blink instant disable to give Mineski against those BKBs.
I wonder if Mushi will consider a fast blink of his own. It's one of those items which, you know, that second blink is better than having one because he can instantly follow up a blink Ravage. So he may want to go blink before the BKB, but at the same time, a BKB or a heart, some stat tanky item with him is also much needed as well.
Yeah. It's just sadly that if he does go for Blink Reality Rift, that doesn't work by itself, right? Because you have a Shadow Blade for Ori and you have this BKB for Death Prophet, and she's pretty fast. So I'm not sure if he could just blow up heroes by itself, so we may have to try and go for that the Chaos Bolt Stun, but it's such a slow animation. It's going to be hard no matter what.
Yeah, I think the blink, it's maybe less about being an initiator, more of like having an insta follow-up, but it is hard either way. Maybe a Shadow Blade even makes sense, but there we go. Yeah, he does get the Blink Dagger. It's the item which just synergizes with the Tide Hunter, and he will Blink Reality Rift, find the clockwork.
Blade Mail activated, only 1 second stun, so he will manage to get the Cogs. Nightmare tries to delay this, 11 actually coming inside of the Cogs against this, and he dooms the wrong illusion. Now the Ravage going down, hitting multiple heroes, including one of which is Gyrocopter. Paparazzi activates his BKB, going for that backline. Mushi is just tearing everybody apart. The Spirit Siphon is on top of him. Ori lets loose that ultimate. Mushi will finally die here, but he did his duty. Ori will take out a support, but all this BKB, Gyrocopter, he'll catch him eventually. Now the slowdown of that AoE, the call down. Ori can't get away with the dust. Paparazzi exorcism late into that fight. Nice jump in from 11. A critical stun hitting Moon. A triple kill for Paparazzi. Somehow Paparazzi managed to persevere despite Mushi tearing apart most of his allies.
Yeah, I mean, Mushi gets 2 kills at the start.
What are you doing?
That's some nice. He's got a haste ring, you know. He's like, all right, I can't die, right? Wait till you. There's no Yule, so yeah, he's actually safe.
Oh, Sean misses, turn around, tries to kill 11, manages to get the Centaur stop, and 11 survives.
8 health and something.
I love watching these two offlaners. I actually want to see Vici Gaming versus Mineski a whole lot more, just to see 11 versus Ice.
Great teamfight for Vici Gaming, even before that extra kill on the Tidehunter. They come out with a 4-for-3 trade, a triple kill on Death Prophet. Mushi gets those first 2 kills, but once he's gotten like the free, easy, quick kills because of a missed doom as well, he doesn't have the sustain. He's actually pretty squishy. The Death Prophet Spirit Siphon doing the percent-based damage, and without a BKB, he just can't hold his ground there. And
Yeah.
ultimately, he dies almost solo to a Death Prophet before Exorcism. Exorcism was still on cooldown at the start of that fight, and Paparazzi is still able to kill Mushi.
What a cool item choice. Like no Yule Scepter for Paparazzi with the early Solar Crest. Normally, I would say, what's the point of getting armor? Like, let's be real, the Phantasm Illusions are still going to blow you up. But this early, and with the miss percentage chance now of the Solar Crest, I think it's actually going to work.
Yeah, it always feels like one of those really value items against heavy single-target physical damage because you're getting the armor with the evasion. And we'll see how... Clockwork missing another hook shot.
Here comes the check.
Does have a blade mail? I don't know. Don't really feel like this is an amazing blade mail game by any means.
No, certainly not.
I would have said Solar Crest, but they've got Death Prophet having one.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much just good versus the Skywrath Mage, and the fact that every single time he cogs, there's probably going to be a Mystic Flare dropped inside of it, so he protects himself in that regard, but I agree, it's like not amazing.
Yeah. Even just the faster Spirit Vessel might have been nice, but not the end of the world either way. We'll see what the next move from Mineski is going to be. Exorcism was down, but they didn't try and take any kind of a big fight, partly because the Tide actually died very late in that team fight, and I think they also are looking at Mushi thinking he's not really quite ready to join these team fights. They want level 18 on him, they want a BKB. Problem is, Vici Gaming, they've got Exorcism back now, and they are ready to fight.
4-man smoke through mid while Ori showed at bottom and is now going to show at mid.
Good ward from Fenrir.
High ground jump, and what a Centaur stomp! Immediately gets off the Doom onto Ice, no Ravage at play, and the fight is already over for Mineski. It's just going to be a question, Vici Gaming, how many heroes can they actually grab out of this one? Mineski actually going to turn now. Now, maybe? No, that is no damage whatsoever to the call down boot. Immediately tries to TP away. Jabs does the same. It's only Ninja Boogie, whose TP was on cooldown, who won't be able to get out.
They kind of cut their losses there. Great initial ward coming out as they kind of approach that high ground area from Fenrir, who just plants it while he's still smoked, because that's it's always dangerous. Your smoke going from low ground to high ground. Jabs was actually positioned in a spot where he could pop the smoke, and maybe he dies, but he gets his team out of there. But because they don't pop the smoke, the ward gives vision of Ice. Great blink stun from the Doom, who gets a follow-up Doom on the Tidehunter. And that right there is instantly teamfight one. Problem is, you'll lose your Observer wards, but you're pretty happy with the fact that it got you at least one good fight, and only one of the two gets dewarded.
So for all you kids at home, don't just mindlessly listen to Swindle Melons. All right, Kyle can lead you astray. He's telling you always get that Wolfpack aura, always. Hey, this Centaur stun is looking pretty good on 11 right now.
Yeah, there's much more than just the one option. Even the Frost Armor, some games can be really good. This game could consider it. There's a lot of magic damage. It's not all about the Chaos Knight winning fights. So
yeah.
I'm a big fan of the Centaur stun on the hero.
These are big pickups. Well, the level 20 talents, right? You've got SF and then Doom as well.
Doom, yeah. We'll see that come into play. I'm a big fan of the Centaur stun, particularly because of the lack of AoE control, stun control for the Chaos Knight illusions.
Yeah.
I think being able to clear them is nice, but it's just as important to have an AoE stun.
Just to buy your allies enough time to pop a BKB or something, right?
Yeah.
Moon just throws a call down, TP's out. Oh, no. It was so close.
I feel like I've had a few close breaks with missed hook shots, slightly missed ganks from Vici Gaming. And that wasn't a misplay by any means. He had to guess where to blink, but fortune will favor Mineski for now. Very easily could have just been a pick-off. And they're going to smoke themselves. Moon comes out of it. Must have attacked or not been caught in there.
I'm not sure what kind of play they... Because it's not like there's a huge advantage. It's just a hook shot on cooldown.
Yeah. They need the Blink Ravage on one of these BKB targets to burst them down.
The smoke is going to pop now. There goes the Ravage. BKB instantly popped by Ori. Let's lose that ultimate. The TP coming in from Mushi, but Ice is already gone, and it looks like Mineski. Well, they pop the Phantasm. They're going to turn, try and go for 11. He tries to blink out of the Reality Rift. Still gets caught with his stun. Managed to get out that Centaur stun, though. Big hit. Moon pops his BKB, but it's a little bit late. Maybe he can finish off some of those supports. A lot of these heroes are quite low, but Moon just doesn't have the damage nor the HP to survive. Paparazzi, Ori, not a whole lot of HP, but they still win the fight, only losing their 2 supports.
Yeah, they were just so ready for that Tide initiation, and I fear even if he gets that Blink Ravage and stuns like the BKB cores before they pop BKB, Mushi's not actually there. He needs to be smoking with them so he can instantly follow up the Ravage with a stun. His ulti, he needs to burst them down because they actually don't kill these heroes without him there. The fact he's TPing in, I think, is the wrong approach because it's not an instant follow-up. It's like, okay, I got to count down 3, 2, 1. Oh, I'm TP'd in now. Oh, wait, they're no longer stunned and they got their BKBs off. This SF is going to probably Requiem his way out of there. So not the way the fight can really go for Mineski. The Chaos Knight needs to be with them rather than reacting to the smoke. See it again here, that instant BKB. He was just ready for Ice, who whiffs the ultimate. And very impressed that Mineski actually kind of salvaged things a little bit. From that point, it really should just be like a 3 for 0, it feels like.
Smoke up, push in, catch Ninja Boogie. Just a simple pick off, but now Ori, he didn't get off the BKB in time. He got stunned up by Mushi. Nightmare buys him a little bit of time. Now he pops the BKB. The last couple of shots not going to be enough. And Ori turning, bottling up with a double damage. She'll just destroy that Skywrath Mage for threatening his own life. Moon comes forward with a call down, trying to get some Black Cannon shots onto Ori in the back line. Couldn't quite get it. So instead, they're going to go for Paparazzi. Paparazzi, he does pop his BKB fast enough, but Mushi with the toggles, he'll stay alive. So Paparazzi has to bounce back over to Moon, who got completely sandwiched with his failed initiation of the call down.
Ooh, bold play to go looking for that Shadow Fiend kill. They get it. It's such a big win for them when they have Ravage down if they can find a core pickup like that, but it was just not enough damage coming out from Mushi's Chaos Knight. And Rosh is back up with Nexus, and this should be free taking for Vici Gaming. They do have Ravage with the Chaos Knight Phantasm, but...
Oh, that Nightmare from Fenrir, so important.
Yeah.
He lived with just about 100 HP.
It's not really looked at as like a save when we talk about like drafting save for a lineup. You think like Tusk, Oracle, Shadow Demon, but in the right moment with the right usage can ruin an initiation.
Ah, that Fiend's Grip. Didn't see that one. Bane got a full Fiend's Grip onto that Gyrocopter when he was next to the tier 2 because he was totally isolated.
Well, that's Aegis in Ori's hands now. Cheese went the way of the Doom. So this Doom has 3,000 health in the front line with a Cheese, Crimson God, BKB Blink.
I'm surprised it wasn't given a Paparazzi. Normally it's him the one who has the Cheese because you want to make sure you don't get popped with Exodus now. Yeah. But apparently he's feeling like he is so tanky, he has so much armor, he has Shivas. As long as he gets his BKB off in time, he's not too threatened. But, we do have a big level 20 coming in for Mushi, right?
Yeah, absolutely. This is crucial, being able to counter those BKBs with the reality Rift. Chase down some of these very mobile, annoying heroes. A hero like Death Prophet, who's going to be hasted at level 25. You definitely need this talent. You cannot go for the Greave with the GPM.
4-man smoke up from Vici Gaming. Again, a 4-man smoke while Ori shows himself somewhere on the map. Feeling like Paparazzi, if they run into a big engagement, if they run into 5, that Paparazzi will be able to carry them through on the damage. Ori's going to start wrapping in now that Vici Gaming have gotten close to Mineski.
Lanham shows himself with a rocket flare, kind of.
Lanham starts pushing forward. Smoke pops. Ice. Walks away from him. Ori with the invis.
Doom is flanking. He's behind them.
Yeah, Spirit Siphon on the Ice does manage to get the big Doom onto the Chaos Knight with the Fiend's Grip. That takes him out of the fight. And Moon, he's trying to get some damage onto some ports, but Ori, he quickly turns around with all his physical damage. Let's lose the ultimate. It's going to be a close call for Moon, but Moon is far enough away. He will survive. Into the trees, everyone goes, trying to catch some heroes. Ninja Boogie, he will get away from that Blink Dagger from Paparazzi.
Even Clockwork Hookshot was fishing for the gyro there. I mean, this is a 20k gold lead. Vici Gaming well in control, and it feels like things could be even worse if they've gotten a few of these extra core kills with the clockwork hooks that have been missing, but end of the day, they'll be very happy with that. Aegis still in hand, as well as the cheese. Great play from 11. He got the full-on flank, comes in from behind, gets a blink stun onto Mushi's Chaos Knight. He just bought BKB, did not have buyback, and he just got removed from the fight.
I want to point out the fact that Vici Gaming, they don't try and keep pushing that lane. They don't go for the tier 2. They actually backed out, went for bounding runs, even on the other side of the map. So Ori is now bottom lane, farming that.
Those tier 2 towers will still be there a minute from now. So, you know, bounding runs, maybe not. But I think most importantly, they want to kind of respect a potential Chaos Knight buyback, and also the fact Tide did just buyback, and with Exorcism wearing out, they're always going to be a little bit afraid about what can be thrown their way once that Exorcism is down. I feel like that's one thing Mineski has done poorly this game, is punishing the Exorcism cooldowns. You think most DP drafts and games, team has Exorcism, they take an objective, they take Roshan, they force a fight. Second it's down, there's like a 1 minute time window where the opposing team then goes for a smoke or tries to make a big play. And Mineski just haven't really done that too much.
Fenrir going to try and make some sort of solo play. He sleeps up Mushi and walks away. Ooh, a double damage. Didn't Ori have one last fight? Or maybe it was the fight before it. Oh, he's going to stumble into some heroes here. He's going to run into Moon. First shot, decent chunk down. That's 300 damage gone from Moon.
Just happy to chip away at them and perhaps force these lanes out a bit more. Doesn't look like they want that top tier 2 tower, but still another minute on this Aegis if they want to chip away at the high ground. It's always risky. You're putting yourself in a position where the strong initiation on the Mineski side can catch you by surprise. Ninja Boogie does have that line blink now, so there is that insta-disable preventing BKBs.
Ori will fearlessly push into the tier 3. After all, he has the Aegis.
Yep.
Double siege creeps to help him out.
He'll do what damage he can before backing off now. 30 seconds left on the Aegis, and I think they will not even chance it for another high ground push. I would like to see Death Prophet just get an A on disc. I think if you want to play it safe and slow roll this, it just seems like the item against these. You've got this BKB you're not guaranteed to get off against a potential Blink Ravage or a Blink Hex from Lion. You just want to have that reassurance that you're always able to get a BKB off.
Instead, he's going to go Octarine, jump in, manage to get the Centaur stun, follow up with a Doom, and Mushi's already dead.
Wow, what a great initiation.
No buyback whatsoever. An aggressive blink in from Paparazzi to make sure they catch more. That'll be the Lion gone as well. 2 heroes down, no buyback. Doesn't matter if Aegis is reclaimed. They just need to be able to clean up these creeps real quickly. Get him pushed into the base so that backdoor protection goes away.
Yeah, they're going to get this bottom lane pushed out. They want to force these buybacks, even a fight here. Death Prophet ultimate, it's coming up, and that is very concerning. Look at 11. He's just playing so bold. With the cheese here, he's effectively got like 5,000 to 6,000 health, and there's nothing Mineski can do to damage their way through him, as Moon isn't even really showing up for this fight right now. He's just trying to finish off a butterfly.
They can't really fight without the Chaos Knight anyway, so they're going to have to probably give up both lanes of Rax. They do still have that tier 2 intact at the top lane, so it's not like Vici Gaming can go for the end game megas anyway. No.
Gyro will full out fire the butterfly. Now we see them going in. They want to fight.
They're going to try and catch these heroes. They try and get back the hook shot out with the cogs inside. Moon is getting a lot of damage onto Paparazzi. It's going to be close call. Manage to get the BKB, start walking away, and it's not enough. Moon can't finish him off. Paparazzi will survive. In fact, Moon himself drops dangerously low. Mushi's going to be able to come in and catch Lanham at least. So they get something out of it, but boy, if they'd killed Paparazzi, that could have actually helped Mineski quite a bit.
They just bought the butterfly. They threw everything they could to try and bring him down. 11 and Ninja Boogie having some fun, as suddenly Mineski look almost out of this game.
Yeah.
2 lanes of Rax, 1 full, 1 with the range barracks. That doesn't really mean too much standing in the mid lane, and got to imagine Vici Gaming feel very good about this game right now.
Now that, wait. Oh, okay. I was like, now that Paparazzi's been tested, Doom gave the cheese to him, and then Paparazzi's like, no. I'm a man. I don't need cheese, so he gives it to Ori instead. They're going to find a Bane kill. Something small for Ninja Boogie, and Jam's actually a little bit bigger than that because they take the Jam away. So they can finally deal with all this aggressive vision that Vici Gaming has had.
I'm not even sure if Ori cares about this cheese. He's just keeping it in his backpack with a Satanic almost completed. Vici Gaming, next Roshan coming up sometime in the next 3.5 minutes, so they are probably looking to either slow roll this with a next Roshan, or they're looking to find a smoke pickoff. Like, they've got Refresher Doom, so several fights in a row, Mushi's been doomed before he can get anything off. 11's initiations have been absolutely fantastic this game, and short of an initiation, they will just wait out the next Rosh.
Yeah, this Chaos Knight, he may match up well, but it's a 26K gold lead, and he himself is down by like 6 to 8K behind the 3 cores at Vici Gaming. Like, if this was a hard Chaos Knight, maybe we could talk about a real game here, but Vici Gaming, with this kind of lead, are just kind of rolling over Mineski fight after fight.
Oh, ice. Radiant Scan, though, did see them coming up that hill. I think they're expecting Vici Gaming to try and secure Rosh at this point, so
yeah.
Often you have to at least deny your opponent's vision of that high ground around the Ancients before going in there, so I think Mineski kind of know they're going to at least scout things out. I wonder if Mineski consider contesting Roshan, or if they just accept that their opponents are going to get this Aegis cheese and whatnot. They're probably crossing their fingers hoping for a slow Rosh respawn right now.
Yeah. 11, he can doom Tide, and he can doom either Chaos Knight or Gyrocopter if he wants to. The next fight, hook shot in. Going to be able to find a target once again. Ice, pushed around. Centaur stun. Ravage goes down, trying to get him away from this. They're actually going to be able to kill one. The Clock Warrior ends up going down with the help of Skywrath Mage. Lion already dead. Mushi coming in, trying to go for the kill onto Ori. Intercepted by that Nightmare. Instead, they have to go for Paparazzi, but he's super fast, and now Mushi's been doomed up, so it won't be able to Reality Rift, which is so key to be able to bring down Paparazzi. But, oh, the Finger of Death. They need to be able to finish off now. The Spirit Siphon. Now another Doom comes in. This time on the Gyrocopter. Finally, he will die. 11 can take them both on, but mass buybacks coming out. Mushi's going to be able to blink forward, catching 11 with his Phantasm still alive. Vici Gaming, they lose 3 there. That was not the clean engagement that they were hoping for, but no real threat of Mineski turning around this game either.
Yep, that was decent-ish fight for Mineski, but the buybacks is where you're like, is it really worth it? The gold exchange is dead. Even the experience gain is somewhat noticeable, but
I mean, they're going to get Roshan potentially. Potentially 25 seconds. Oh no, it's a late Roshan. Gods. You said they were going to pray for a late Roshan. Now they're praying for it to be faster. Oh no. It's okay. It'll be back up in 12 seconds, and you will still have a good 30-40 seconds to work with the Death Prophet and Doom down. So maybe Mineski can make these buybacks a little bit more worth. Meanwhile, they're losing buildings inside of their base bit by bit. Back inside the pit they go.
This was the 3rd Roshan. This is a Refresher Shard, so
oh yeah.
Tied with a Refresher Shard could be pretty damn nice as far as 45-minute comebacks go, but Clockwork Rocket Flare scouting this one out makes it very risky and tricky. They're still going to go for this one, but 10 seconds on Death Prophet. They need to block this hook shot. You can bet Lamb's going for it, but CK Illusion's kind of stopping him. Yeah,
they're sitting all around it. Well played.
They just need to get out. I think Mineski need to reset, get back to base. Don't take a fight right now. You're a bit low in health. Your CK Ultimate's still cooling down. Tide Ulti is also cooling down. Even that small little 20-second window. You need to get these lanes pushed out and get this game back in like a stable state where you've got some vision, you've lanes pushed out, everything under control, and then plan your next move around this Aegis cheese.
Did go for the 40% cooldown reduction on the SF. Not terribly surprising.
Yeah, it's just way better because of the items. No matter, even if this Presence or armor was like, I don't know, you could make it -10, and I feel like the 40% cooldown reduction is still just always going to feel better because of BKB cooldown and all these other items that you're playing around as well.
-10.
Maybe not minus. Maybe that's big. You know, it's
I mean, -16 armor and AoE. That is pretty intense.
Yeah.
But yes, I get what you mean.
Here we go. Mineski Rapier queued up on Moon.
Oh, it's going to happen again. Managed to get the blink in, stun 11 every single time. A two-man Centaur stun to be able to follow it up. Ice. Not going to be able to do too much. He does have the Refresher Shard. He can get off a second Ravage, but his teammates are already gone. Mushi is such a big damage dealer that without him, they can't take the fight. They could still buy back on the Tide.
That doesn't feel good, though. You've got no Chaos Knight for defense. Even Sky got caught there.
He can't get away from Paparazzi. Even with the Hex, he's hasted out with that Exorcism. Oh, Ghost Scepter. That'll be good enough.
Woo. Tip him back, Ninja Boogie. No. Gyro
there we go.
This is
Divine Rapier.
He needs to TP back to base, though. They can see it top, though. They're going to know this Gyro Rapier's coming. Gets it in, and TP's back to base. Don't care about your range Rex mid. They've still got this tier 2 top. This is going to stop them losing Mega Creeps, but if Vici want, they could try and force the tier 4s, but no Exorcism, so I think Vici actually probably, they need to just back off. So those big kills they got bottom doesn't turn into too much. The Tide buyback is definitely nice. It means if you can catch him with a Doom now and kill him, it is game over pretty much. But it's not the game-winning play just yet. One small sliver of hope for the Mineski fans out there.
It just feels like eventually Vici Gamer are going to get that one big rune that allows them to do so much. Right now it's an Arcane Rune in the top lane. And Paparazzi will go pick that up while they finally go for the tier 2 in the top lane. Still 12 more seconds till the Chaos Knight is dead, so no fear of an engagement. But Mineski.
Curious to see if...
I wonder when their next smoke is.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. It's so hard to move out. They've got this gem, but it feels like Vici Gaming always just have these deep wards up. They have one on both bottom and top cliff outside the Radiant base. And they're going to get this last tier 2 tower. That tier 2 tower is pretty much the reason why Mineski still have top rack standing at this point.
I almost wonder if it'd be worth it, because you have a Refresher Shard and like one fight could be such a big swing for you as Mineski, if it'd be worth it to get like a Shadow Blade, you know, on Tide. And just to get yourself in a better position.
Oh man, that actually sounds legit. It always feels, it's like a hard thing to tell. Like this Refresher, if you can get enough time to get up to it, it could win you a big team fight, triple Ravage or something. Same time, if you don't know if your opponents have sentries everywhere at gem, and that Shadow Blade also just feels kind of crummy then. But
and they've got time. They could still chill out because Vici Gaming's scared of pushing into the Divine Rapier right now.
Yeah, right now, Mineski probably hoping that some of these buyback cooldowns come back up. You don't really want to be buying back to keep yourselves in the game. It's like you're never really progressing, but at the same time, just it seems necessary at some point that Mineski are going to have to throw lives to defend against Nexus and push. With that said, Vici Gaming have no interest in pushing because of this Aegis. Rapier Gyro, well, let's make sure he has one life so that if we kill him once, we can win the fight. This is where I like the Clockwork Blade Mail, by the way. I did not like it as the first item, but I do like it as a late game item against the Gyro Rapier. It feels amazing. I was just thinking, like, you know, who else could get a Blade Mail? Perhaps Doom, but he's kind of 6-slotted.
And he is quite tanky thanks to the Heaven's Halberd, the 15 strength talent that he got.
He is double Gyro's health pool almost, so theoretically the Blade Mail will just, you know, almost insta-kill a Gyro. But we'll see how that pans out. Gyro does have some lifesteal with this Morbid Mask, and
he's trying to get a Satanic.
Very likely we'll see him just buy out for it. No point having buyback when you're holding a Rapier at this stage of the game. You don't have any backup Rapiers, or if you have to buy back, the game's pretty much lost for him. The Chaos Knight could benefit from buyback, as can the Tide, but definitely they are all in on this Gyro Rapier.
Boots are traveling to the bottom lane just to make sure that all of the lanes are going to be super pushed in. He's hoping that he'll find somebody who's trying to push out the bottom lane real quickly, but Mineski are well and truly stuck inside their own base right now.
I don't think they have much interest in leaving. They're going to lose all these bounty runes, and not much they can really say or do about that. There's no play to be made outside their base unless they have a smoke, which they do, but even with the smoke, it just feels like it's a pretty low % chance. They've already lost the Aegis. You may as well fight on favorable terms, which is on your high ground and around your buildings and your vision, which right now your vision is literally just your high ground. So 3 observer wards, all right outside the Mineski base. And this ain't Mineski, no. You know, if you leave and you leave the base by yourself, you're probably going to get ganked very quickly by a Doom. So the ball is in Vici Gaming's court, and you know, Vici Gaming, when you're up 20 points, you got the ball, you're going to run down that shot clock, which is exactly what they're doing here. They are waiting for that Roshan timer to end.
You know, I thought when I wasn't casting with Kyle, I thought I got away from the basketball references. Gods, no, not you too.
It never end, man.
Oh, man. Mushi's been stuck on, like, the same items for, like, 20 minutes, man.
Yeah, he's in a rough game. 9-8, not
God,
kill score.
I bet he wishes he went to that Midas.
Yeah. Even though he was going to get slow and it was going to be pressured, I think it was the build just to farm. Like, let your mid lane gyrocopter create space and fight while you just keep on farming. Don't come into a fight or even use Phantasm to farm jungle. That would have been a great way for him to play this game, farm lanes, push out lanes, but wasn't me. Mushi at mid. Uh-oh.
There's the smoke, and Mushi is going to be caught. Centaur stun, Doom immediately. Now, he does have buyback, so he's okay with that, but the Doom on ice. That's a whole lot worse. They can't afford that. They need that Ravage in this fight. Moon's going to try and get those flag cannon shots out. What can he actually take on? Lana pops that blade mail, and Moon is forced to jump away. Mushi comes in, man to take out Doom, but Ori goes for the back line, does man to take down Divine Rapier. But Moon, he'll pick it back up, coming into this fight. Nice two-man stun coming out from Ninja Boogie. They need to be able to deal with paparazzi, but he's so damn fast. A Centaur Sun managed to hit Ninja Boogie, but Moon, he can't get the shots in. Everyone's dead now, and Vici Gaming have swarmed the base. Moon, he can't possibly stop this all by himself, so Mineski will call it. Vici Gaming, they didn't look the hottest going into this tournament, but they will bring down Mineski.
Whew. They had a rough day and best of 3 against Na'Vi, but they definitely turned a new page here going up against a much tougher looking opponent. Mineski pushed them to the limit. We had a 90-minute game 1, a 52-minute ender here with Rapiers in multiple games. What a great series between these two teams.
Yeah, honestly, it feels like Vici Gaming just stepped up their game, man. Ori especially. I mean, we got to give some love to him because we, as talent, have been flaming him pretty much all tournament long. But this series, he is a new man.
He absolutely crushed it, this best of 3. He did fantastic. With that said, my MVP this game is going to be 11. His Doom.
Yeah.
You expect your Doom to get you a clutch initiation like a few times throughout the game, but every single fight, he's dooming the right hero. Mushi perhaps gets the opposite award because he got caught by that Doom one too many times, particularly when it's that blink stun. You can actually BKB dodge that Centaur stun and theoretically not get caught if you react fast enough, which at this level, you've got to at least be able to do some of the time. He just never dodged it. So unfortunately for Mineski, they're out, but Vici Gaming looking like one of the scarier teams to be facing in this lower bracket, so excited to see more of them.
Vici Gaming, they are a new team, it seems, with this series against Mineski. How far can this new team go? Well, for that, we go to the panel.
Yes, thank you very much. Kappa Gods in the commentary box for this extended series between Mineski and Vici Gaming, the longest series we've had at the Supermajor. That's what they call it, the Supermajor. Get super performances from all the teams, and that really was a very good performance from Vici Gaming to win their series 2-1. They guarantee themselves a top 8 place. We'll break down the game and look forward to our final series of the day with our panel members once more. We're back with Fogged, Black, and Dahaz. And Alan, Cap's right, we've given Ori a pretty rough ride, and I have to say, it almost feels like the real Ori turned up today, because that's more like it, isn't it?
Absolutely. From doghouse to penthouse, he went from, let me read the numbers off here, 18 kills, 23 deaths, and 41 assists in the series versus Na'Vi last night in 3 games, to 47 kills, 16 deaths, and 54 assists in 3 games today. He was brilliant, and in this particular game, Black King Bar is the most important item in the Pro Dota 2 meta right now, and you saw double BKB on Death Prophet and Doom before the 20-minute mark, triple BKB before the 25-minute mark. They had nothing to deal with it except Blink Hex on a 5-position Lion. Good luck with that. And the CK level 20 talent. Mushi did not hit level 20 until almost 35 minutes into this game.
Yeah, he also finished 6th on the net worth chart, which is not where you want your Chaos Knight, is it?
Nope. I think all 3 cores on the side of Vici just heavily outplayed the 3 cores on the side of Mineski. Ice was pretty underwhelming this game too, but this time though they kind of left him to his own. Where usually when we see him playing this Tidehunter, they help him a lot. I think they just really wanted to double down helping the Gyrocopter in the mid lane versus that Shadow Fiend, but it ended up really crippling him. We saw him in like a lot of these fights. I think he got like 1 or 2 pretty decent Ravages, but besides that, he wasn't able to because of how far behind he was, and they got those 3 BKB super early on Vici, which was super important, like Alan pointed out.
Yeah, I was really confused that they left the Tidehunter solo bot, solo top. First they dual lane top, they kill the DP, and then they leave the Tidehunter alone, and the Skyraf went to safe lane, I believe, to help the Chaos Knight. But basically like that, you're giving up 2 of your lanes, and one of your only winning lane. And if you do that, then you run risk of what happened in this game, of losing all 3 lanes.
Yep.
And if that happens in Dota, we know how hard it is to come back.
It's going to be a very difficult loss to get over for Mineski, I would imagine. They played well in this tournament, much better than they have in the previous 3. And on top of that, they should have won game 1 in this series.
Yeah, theoretically, yeah, probably. I think the biggest thing for me is really Mushi's play in this series. I think he really was the weakest link for his team.
Played well in game 2, though.
In game 1
Played
and
well
3,
in game 2. In game 1 and 3, he
Yeah.
had a very kind of like weak performance.
Yeah, Moon did okay in this game, but that's probably his weakest game of the tournament so far, Alan, as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that... the more I look at this game, the more I think you say Mushi had a really bad game, and he definitely did. I think it's time to draft, though. I mean, there's a reason that Tidehunter has sort of faded from the meta. He had a big resurgence right around the time Refresher Shard was introduced. People using him to finish games with that 3rd Roshan, but you know, the Chinese teams, I'm going to sound like a broken record here, they've been playing so well around these 20 to 25-minute BKB timings. That's a time in the game when the Tidehunter needs to be dictating engagements with his Ravage, and the BKB timings on multiple cores really mess that up.
Scoreboard on the screen. Paparazzi, 18, 4, and 24 tops the scoreboard in terms of kills, but some standout performances across his whole team. Old Lanham, for instance, finishing with the 5th highest net worth as a position for Clockwork, I guess. Like, that says it all, really, in terms of where the cash went in this game. Ori obviously stood out on the Shadow Fiend as well, finished top net worth, and had a decent game, 12, 5, and 22. But Old 11 on the Doom, 2nd highest net worth, 13, 4, and 23.
Definitely my MVP.
Any offers for anyone other than Old 11 for MVP?
I was kind of ticking Paparazzi because I loved his item build, but Old 11, I mean 11.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to give a shout out to Ori because of, again, the just dramatic turnaround within the space of 24 hours to go from just completely off his game last night to really playing a huge part in winning the series. But Old 11, I mean, he just took Mushi out of the game. I mean, Mushi was pretty out of the game anyway, but Old 11 just said, no. Bye-bye.
I think also, like I was saying, like the item builds, I saw them just like they prioritized this armor right after those BKBs. It was BKB, and then I saw the Solo Crest comes out for Death Prophet, Doom goes for Crimson Guard Shivas. Mushi's just running around like, oh god. Most of the situations, Mushi was just getting Doom straight up and also getting Centaur Stomp before he got the BKBs off, so yeah, it's a rough game for the CK.
Yeah, 11 having a fantastic game. Let's bring you up to date with our bracket and show you where we are right now, because we've eliminated another team. Mineski fall by the wayside alongside VGJ Storm and Evil Geniuses that both left the tournament, of course, a little earlier on. Optic will now play TNC. Both of them still in the running for making that top 8 spot, of course. And another team will be in action who are fighting it out for the top 8. They're in the 8th position right now. VGJ Thunder, they go head-to-head against Newbie for the place in the next round to play Vici Gaming. That's the bracket. And that's where we're heading next. We are heading to our final series of the day, so don't go too far away. VGJ Thunder versus Newbie. Both teams in a little bit of poor form over recent tournaments, but that's not going to stop them trying to reach the top 8 here. And, of course, Thunder have some extra incentive. They want to try